everyone. We are back for another episode of the Vanguard Fitness Hour live. And we got another great show for you, ready to go with lots of information, lots of facts, lots of entertaining news. So I'm really excited to bring to you another show. And as you see, I've got my mask on. It's very appropriate for the topic that we're going to be addressing today, which is stretching. And not just stretching, but couples stretching. So I've got a special guest that's coming on. Most of you have already met her. If you have not introduced to her, you're going to be very excited to meet this young lady. So I'm going to bring out more of that as we go forward. But again, wearing my mask because it is important to make sure that you still practice social distancing, still mask up, sanitize those hands, use good common sense practices to keep yourself healthy during this time of pandemic. Because even though there's a vaccine out there, we still need to be cautious. We still need to be cognizant and aware of our own health. So with that, we're going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to let the music key down just a bit. And we're going to go ahead and get started with our first piece of information. So again, it's been a full week. We're back into season 2. We're in full swing. I'm going to remove this mask because to make sure that I accentuate the fact that it is appropriate and timely to make sure that we are practicing safe measures. So with that being said, as always, got 20 pounds of fitness information, motivation, and inspiration to stuff into a 10-pound bag, so it's time to get started. First topic of the day, what's new with the fitness guru? And I got some exciting things I'm very happy to announce. First one, this great mask that I have right here. This was given to me by one of my physical therapy patients. I can't say her name because of HIPAA laws and that sort of thing, but you know who you are. Thank you very much for this. Actually, it was her daughter that put this together. She's got the logo on there. It says Vanguard Exercise Management, the name of the company. Logo is in bright, bold colors. Very good material, and I'm going to be proud to be wearing this going forward. So thank you very much for that. I really appreciate it. And then I guess my clients and patients are real interested in making sure that I stay safe. One of my personal training clients, and I can say her name, Tosca King. Thank you very much, Tosca. She brought me this face shield in. So she was concerned about the fact that, a lot of times I wear glasses and they fog up. But she wanted to make sure that not only was I safe, but I was also able to have some degree of vision. So she brought this for me. I was really happy about it. So thank you to both of you for that. Also, what's new? I started to take some time to think about goals that I wanted to set up for myself for the year going forward, so particularly for the summer, because I like to, go a season ahead. So I'm really focusing in on my summer goals and what is it that I want to accomplish, what do I want to do that's new, what is going to be innovative and challenging for me and fun, to say the least. So what I'm going to start to do is start to exercise more. I'm very interested in beach workouts. I think that sand creates natural resistance. It intensifies a lot of the exercises and movements that you do. Even just running in sand is more challenging, obviously, than running on solid pavement. So I'm going to incorporate a lot more of those this summer with the warm temperatures. Another goal that I have, I'm going to start to exercise and work out and train more with my children. I have 3 kids. Ages 26, 23, and 20. And although they're grown, they're all interested in fitness. So I'm going to start to incorporate that because right now we're kind of scattered. My daughter works at a gym, trains at a gym. My son is at another one. Got another daughter that kind of works out at home and that sort of thing. So let's put that together, make it a family affair. And I really want to start to do more of that going forward. So those are just a couple of the goals that I have set for myself. Next topic. I mentioned at the start of season 2, which was last week, that I had begun an intermittent fasting routine or regimen. And that started March 1st. That was a Monday. That was the first day I had actually incorporated it. And I said that, in the vein of remaining as transparent as possible, I want to share with you what was going on, what my challenges were, what I was feeling about it, how I was working, and that sort of thing. So a couple things. Number one, it has been effective. I have dropped weight. And I've been happy about that. It's not that difficult because basically what I'm using is a 16-8 routine. So what happens is all my meals are consumed within an 8-hour period. And I talked about this before, between 12 o'clock and 8 p.m. After that, I will not eat food. The only thing I'll do is consume beverages, and that'll be water or tea, green tea, black tea, that sort of thing. So it has been very effective for weight loss. I'm thinking that a lot of it is just because of the shock to the system. It's something that's new that I haven't done before. But a lot of it has just been the fact that I'm not eating late like I would do sometimes just because of scheduling. And that leads me into the biggest challenge for intermittent fasting as far as I'm concerned. So I use that 12 to 8 p.m. Window. What happens is because of my schedule, a lot of times I might not even be done at the office until 7:30, 7:45, sometimes 8 o'clock or later. So that throws everything off. If I go earlier and change that 8-hour window to maybe 10 o'clock or something like that, that's not really going to work for me either, because these are during my working hours when I'm seeing patients, when I'm dealing with clients, that sort of thing. So how does that work? So that's been the biggest hindrance or complication for me. So what happens is if it comes close to that 8-hour window, the decision becomes, do I eat past that time or do I skip the meal, which isn't a good thing either. So I'm really juggling that right now. I'm going to try to make a few adjustments going forward, but I will keep you updated on that. But right now, meal timing has been the biggest concern for me. If I had a regular 9 to 5 where I was done at 5 o'clock and I could go home, I think things would be a little easier, a little less challenging. But as of right now, that has provided a bit of a roadblock that I need to get around. So that's where that goes. Next up, coronavirus testing results. And again, I like to be transparent with the audience. So I make sure that I get tested on a regular basis. So these are my most recent results. I took this test was done on the 24th of March. So I don't know if you can see that, but I got a big old green negative. And again, that is not to gloat or anything like that, but it is to show that practicing safe measures does work. I happen to be in an environment, I work in a political setting, so I'm exposed constantly to individuals that may or may not come in contact with the virus and that sort of thing. So it's important that I make sure that I practice the safe measures and steps that I've been practicing all along since this pandemic kicked off. So frequently washing my hands. I'm using rubber gloves. I'm making sure that I keep as much space as I can in between. But most importantly, in my opinion, I'm making sure that my nutrition is on point. I'm making sure that I stay physically active, and I'm making sure that I do the things to keep my immune system strengthened. And I do that through supplementation in addition to the foods that I eat. I think that has had the biggest impact on me being able to avoid this virus, because I have had patients come into the office that have called in and say, I can't make it because I'm under quarantine. I tested positive for the virus. I've had coworkers that have been exposed to it. So that's been, other than, the good Lord looking out for me, I have not, in all the tests that I've taken, I've always come out negative. So that's should be encouragement to each and every one of you, because again, although this vaccine is out there, that doesn't mean that the virus has taken a vacation or has left town. It's still out there. You make sure that you do the things that you need to do to keep yourself safe. All right, moving on. A new segment, and I was juggling with this for a little bit. Oftentimes, I'll get a lot of questions that come in on my social media pages, through email, that sort of thing. So I got, so as I'm going through this, I'll respond to them and that sort of thing. But I figured, why not share these questions with everyone? Because a lot of people might have the same kind of inquiry, the same kind of concern, the same kind of issues. And by sharing that information and keeping it public, I think that would help a lot of folks. So the new segment I'm going to title Ask the Guru. So what I want you to do is, if you do have a question, feel free to submit it. I'm going to give that contact information later on in the show. But the first questions that I want to share with the audience comes from Tracy E. I'm just going to say the first initial of the last name. I'm not going to give people's full names. But Tracy E. she's from Silver Springs, Maryland. And she asked, why do I only see you wearing Under Armour apparel? And I thought that was funny. And she's absolutely right. Under Armour is, I've always gravitated toward that brand. I like the way the material is made. I like the fact that it's durable. I like the fact that it's breathable. I like the styles and colors that it comes in. It's just something I've just always liked. It's simple. It's just about as simple as that. Going back a little bit, it kind of reminds me of a brand of clothing that I used to wear back in the, I guess, 80s, early 90s. There was a manufacturer, a clothing manufacturer called Zubaz, and they used to make these really these baggy kind of workout pants and all these wild, crazy colors and that sort of thing. And I really liked them. For whatever reason, the company went out of business. I don't know if they were bought out or what, or absorbed into another organization or what. But Under Armour kind of put me into that brand. That gave me that memory of what that was like to wear those Zubas. So I really like those. And that's basically it. It comes comes down to that, not anything more significant than that. I just like the brand. So Under Armour, folks, if you happen to be listening, would love to have you as a sponsor. Give me a holler. Let's have you on. Next question comes from Janice W. in Hazel Crest, Illinois. Her question is, you talk a lot about water intake in your videos and posts. Even though I don't like drinking water, I plan to start drinking more. How much do you recommend? This is a good question because hydration is very significant. There's been that common rule of thumb that 8 ounces of water per day. And I did some research on that, and there's really no scientific factual information to back that claim. It was kind of like an arbitrary number that was put out there. So in truth, when it comes to water consumption, there are some targets that you need to try to target to hit. So for men, the goal is 13 8-ounce glasses of water per day. For women, it is 9 8-ounce glasses of water per day. And for pregnant women, it is 10 8-ounce glasses of water per day. So those are kind of your key benchmark areas that you targets that you want to shoot for when it comes to water consumption. Make it easier on yourself. Keep the water handy. Keep it accessible so you can sip on it throughout the day, as opposed to feeling like, oh, I got to knock down all these 9 glasses all at one shot. Once you get into the habit of it, it becomes a little bit easier. Start by maybe replacing some other beverages that you might consume, whether that's coffee or juices or sodas and that sort of thing, and just kind of ease yourself into it. But that's the target that you want to go for. So Janice, I'm assuming this is a young lady. Your target should be 9 8-ounce glasses of water. So again, 9 for women, 10 for men, 13 for men, and pregnant women is 10 glasses of water, 8-ounce glass of water per day. Next up, question comes from Charles P. from Tucson, Arizona. His question reads, during one of your broadcasts, you mentioned that you won 3 overall bodybuilding titles, which is true. What high-protein foods did you rely on for your protein source? And my answer for that is really straightforward. I have 5 go-to foods that I would rely on for my protein consumption. Number 1 was chicken breast. Not just any, they were boneless, skinless chicken breasts. That was my number 1 go-to meal. Whey protein, this is what I would use to mix into my shakes and beverages and that sort of thing. So I would find a good source of whey protein. It took me a while to find one that really agreed with me, that I enjoyed the flavor of. It was giving me all the nutritional needs that I was looking for. But whey protein was number 2. Salmon was number 3. My 4th was lean cuts of beef. And then the 5th, number 5, eggs. And basically we're talking about egg whites. Very seldom when I do an egg yolk. So those are my top 5 protein sources when I was competing on a regular basis in terms of competition for bodybuilding shows. Last question, actually, next question. This is from Frederick F., Westerville, Ohio. I have a guest suggestion for you. How can someone appear as a guest on your show? Very good question. If you are involved in the health, wellness, and fitness space, if you do something interesting, something that's going to be beneficial to others, if you have a story to share, information to provide, something that's going to benefit the health, wellness, and fitness community, I would love to talk to you. You can shoot me an email at Vanguard, VANGUARDMGT, like Mark George Thomas, at yahoo.com. You can also reach out to me through my social media platforms. That would be Vanguard Exercise Management at Facebook, on Facebook, or on Instagram, Vanguard MGT, followed by the number 1. So you reach out to me, let me know what it is that your guest suggestion is about. Have that person reach out to me. I'd love to talk with them. And if that person has something that is going to be valuable to the audience, I would love to have them on. Let's see. Last question comes from Lamont W., and he is from Nashville, Tennessee. Do you have a favorite fitness or exercise book? Yes, I do. And that took no hesitation at all. It is the Encyclopedia of Modern Bodybuilding by Arnold Schwarzenegger, believe it or not. I mean, it is a huge book. It's about this thick, but it is packed with great information and photos and articles and stories. I've got a hardcover. I got a soft. Actually, I had to rebuy one. I'm getting off track here a little bit, but my dog chewed up my original version, the soft cover. Really, it's not like a dog ate my homework story. It really happened. The damn dog ate the book. So I had to buy another one. But again, Encyclopedia of Modern Bodybuilding by Arnold Schwarzenegger is my favorite go-to fitness book. I almost use that as a reference tool. It's like an encyclopedia or something, but really good publication. Next up, let's see, the Vanguard question of the week. Now, this is the final results reveal, so to speak. So the question of the week, the last one was, do you intend to get or take the coronavirus vaccine? And out of 444 people that were reached, yes, most definitely came out to 76%. No, absolutely not, 24%. So folks that decided that they were going to take the vaccine totally ran away with it. A little bit surprising for me. I thought it was going to be a bit closer. But yeah, the people have spoken. So 76% of people say that they would most definitely be taking the coronavirus vaccine. I did not have a, thinking about it, not sure option, just because I wanted a real clear-cut, defined response grouping coming in. So that's where we left off at. All right. Next up. Today in fitness news, I got two great articles that I wanted to share with you. The first one, and let me have that in front of you. This one comes from CBS News, and you probably heard about it yourself. It's pretty well publicized. Krispy Kreme will give you a free donut every day this year if you've been vaccinated. Notice the pause, right? Doesn't come at no cost. So let me go through the story with you. In case you needed another reason to get your COVID-19 vaccination, Krispy Kreme is sweetening the deal. It's giving free donuts to anyone with proof of vaccination all year long. Starting Monday, and this was Monday of this week, any customer with a valid COVID-19 vaccination card will receive a free original glazed donut at participating locations nationwide. The iconic donut shop specifies that any guest who have received at least one of the two shots of the Moderna or Pfizer vaccine or one shot of the Johnson & Johnson vaccine will qualify for the promotion. So, having said that, let's go to let me change that description up. And there we go. All right. All you need to do, is to show your vaccination card to redeem your donut. A vaccine sticker is not valid. And it's not just a one-time offer. Vaccinated individuals can go back every single day and continue getting free donuts through all of 2021. So let's continue on with this because I found this to be really interesting. In a press release, Krispy Kreme also said it plans to support healthcare workers and volunteers who are administering vaccines by delivering free donuts to vaccination centers across the country in the coming weeks. To continue encouraging company safety, it is also giving employees up to 4 hours of paid time off to get the vaccine. We all want to get COVID-19 behind us as fast as possible, and we want to support everyone doing their part to make the country safe by getting vaccinated as soon as the vaccine is available. A number of companies, including Tyson, Target, Aldi, Trader Joe's, and McDonald's, are offering similar policies. Some companies are giving staffers paid time off to get their vaccines. As of, let's see, the rest kind of goes on to quote some statistics. The U.S. has administered about 100 million doses of the COVID-19 vaccine, or 35 million Americans are fully vaccinated. So, having said that and shared that information with you, I find it very ironic. Basically, something that is meant to increase the health and wellness of individuals is being offset by a sugary, doughy product, right? Calorie filled. So is that, I get from the Krispy Kreme corporation standpoint, it's a good hook, right? It gets them out in the news. They're probably going to be moving more product and that sort of thing. Maybe they think they're being a good corporate citizen or steward. However, is that the best option to look at when you're trying to promote getting vaccinated, which is meant to, again, boost the health of an individual? I know there's some questions about that on a lot of people's minds, but that's the goal. So let's put it into perspective. A donut a day for the rest of the year. And I put together some statistics on this. So this story came out March 22nd, right? As of March 22nd, 2021, that left about 208, not about, that leaves 284 days remaining in the year, right? An original glazed Krispy Kreme donut contains 190 calories and 11 grams of fat. So we're going to take that 190 calories, we're going to multiply it by the remaining days in the year, which is 284. That turns out to be 53,960 calories, okay? In order to lose, now here's a way that we can use these numbers and why this is going to make sense. In order to lose a pound, you need to burn approximately 3,500 calories. So that's kind of the magic number. Conversely, if you needed to gain a pound, you'll need to consume those same 3,500 calories. So if we take that 53,960 calories and divide it by 3,500, which is the equivalent of a pound of additional weight, by the end of 2021, you'll have gained about 15 pounds. Now let's take a look at the fat grams. An original Krispy Kreme glazed donut, 11 grams of fat, right? So 11 times that 284, that gives us 3,124 grams of fat. There's about 454 grams of fat in 1 pound. So what does that mean? We take that 3,124, we divide it by that 454. That means that by the end of 2021, you've gained an additional approximately 6 pounds. So provided you did nothing more to burn off the excess calories that you're going to be taking from those wonderful daily donuts that you get from Krispy Kreme, that one glazed donut, theoretically, you could stand to gain about 21 pounds by the end of the year through that 284 days that are remaining. So that kind of puts things in perspective. So think about that before you take up. Now, you want to get the vaccine, that's fine. But do you really want to be consuming a glazed donut every day as your treat for doing that? That's kind of like your lollipop when you go to the doctor's office. So think about that before you make that decision, all right? Next up, got a different story for you. Article number 2, and let's move on to that one. And that story is, most Americans say, I'm going to bring the graphic up now, that the pandemic has been bad for their weight. Okay, no surprise here. Again, this story comes from CBS News. Dealing with stress during the pandemic has caused physical changes for many Americans. Some have gained undesired weight, and others have unintentionally lost weight, both most likely due to the effects of stress. The American Psychological Association's Stress in American Pandemic Survey polled 3,013 adults in the U.S. and found that the majority, about 61%, said they experienced undesired weight changes. 42% of U.S. adults said they gained more weight than they intended, and of those, the amount that reported, they said that they gained an average of 29 pounds. 10% said that they gained more than 50 pounds. Weight gain that leads to obesity can put people at higher risk of serious illness from coronavirus. So that's very ironic. More women, 45% in this survey, reported more weight gain than men, who gained about 39%. But men reported a higher average gain of 37 pounds compared to women's average of about 22. So the study also broke it down by age groups, finding that 48% of millennials reported weight gain. This group reported the highest average weight gain of about 41 pounds. Now, listen to these numbers. This is a lot of additional weight that people are packing on over the course of a year. Just over half of Generation Z adults reported undesired weight gain with an average of about 28 pounds. Okay, so this is due to quite a few things. Number one, during a lockdown, people are less active, all right? You're cooped up in your house. There's nothing to do. All the things that you enjoy doing are not going to be available to you. I mean, we've all experienced that sort of thing. So what happens when you're locked up behind closed doors, right? You don't have that access to things that you normally enjoy doing. You become sedentary. You start to adopt the habits and lifestyles of a sedentary individual. You don't have to go out to work anymore. Even some people that don't get a lot of exercise, maybe at least they get a little bit of movement going from commuting, going from the house to the car to the train station, walking from the parking lot up to the whatever the case might be. There's some activity there. When you're working from home, it's gone. Okay, so basically your commute is from your bedroom to your living room or your office if you have one, or whatever the case might be. Your kitchen is very accessible. All right. Sometimes that kitchen door calls you. You're going in there, you're making multiple trips. things that you wouldn't do if you were in the office setting. A lot of the activities that people like to do to keep them active, a lot of parks were closed. Gyms weren't available, so people were packing on the weight. Alcohol consumption was shooting up. Alcohol consumption can lead to weight gain. So there's a lot of these factors that were working against individuals. So you're not alone if you do happen to fall in that category, all right? There are things that you can do. It is not the end of the world. Now it's time to take control of those dietary habits, those exercise and activity habits, and you can make those changes, all right? So don't just accept the fact that, well, quarantine 15, I've packed on those COVID pounds, and you're just going to accept it. There's things that you can do about it. So again, don't take that position where I'm just going to accept it and this is just the new me. This is my new normal. No, it does not have to be your new normal. There are things that you can do. So that's what the show is about, to share that information. So again, if you have any questions about any of that, I'd be happy to help you out with any exercise routines, different things that you can do just to increase that activity level. Get creative with it. Don't sit still. Don't allow this pandemic to cause you to adopt for good a sedentary lifestyle. Get yourself active and get going with your health and taking control of things. So that is a perfect story that leads me into the new Vanguard question of the week. And the new question is, here we go. Has your weight been affected by the pandemic? You're going to have three options that you can register. Number one is A, I've gained some weight. B, I've actually lost some pounds. Or C, no change, I've maintained my pre-pandemic weight. I would love to have you start voting today. You can do that at the Vanguard Exercise Management Facebook page. You can also do that on the Instagram page for Vanguard MGT, followed by the number 1. So again, that question, has your weight been affected by the pandemic? I'd be more than happy to hear about that. I want to get your feedback and see what you think. So that leads us into today's show topic. So I've been kind of moving around at a quick little pace because I want to make sure that we have plenty of time to get to this next segment. So I've got an individual here that is a returning guest, and I'm really happy to have her back. She is fabulous. She got a great background and career. She's very personable, willing to share information, always willing to help people. She is really dedicated to fitness. She's basically dedicated to her life to it. So we're kindred spirits in that sense. So I'm really happy to bring back to the show Miss Ingrid Isaac. So we're going to bring her out right now. Big round of applause for her. Come on out, Ingrid. So I'm going to get you set up here.
Okay, thank you for having me back.
Oh, glad to have you back. Absolutely. So we got you centered. Good. Got that profile there. Welcome back. I'm glad to have you.
Thank you so much.
How's everything been going?
Good.
All right, good. So
you were just talking about staying active.
Absolutely, and that's what it's all about, right?
Yep.
So before now, we kind of had some discussion going on before we talked about you coming back, but I did find out a couple of things I was really interested in getting some information about.
Okay.
You've got yourself 2 fantastic nicknames that you go by. All right, so one of them is the Storm. Okay, and then the other one, the Fitness Makeover Queen.
Yeah.
So I really like both of them. I was just really curious to know how those came about.
Yeah.
And how they kind of pertain to what you do and how you work with other individuals and that sort of thing. How you help people along.
Yeah, sure. The Storm is a long-standing nickname.
Okay.
Trending way back to maybe the 90s.
Okay, all right.
It transitioned into Storm. So often when other people would see me work out, they'd say, oh, you're always going hard. Oh, you beast. You always, are in there not paying attention, just in your own world, getting your workout in, going hard. But I didn't like being called a beast. Even though I gained muscle and I, compete and all, I feel like I'm still feminine. So I didn't want to be called a beast. So I thought, what is another term I can have people calling me? So it really started off with the, what was her name? I forgot her name. The other, I can't remember her name offhand.
She's a fitness?
No. Okay. It was a super heroine, Amazon-like woman it was a show that was on back in the... Xena, thank you.
I have no idea why I know that, so don't hold that against me. Somehow, Xena Warrior Princess popped in my mind, but go ahead.
So for a long time, it was Xena Warrior Princess rather than Beast. But as I learned more and heard more about various superheroines and learned more about Storm, and she was more of the Afro-American figure of the superheroine.
Right.
So it's like, you know what? I'm going to go with Storm. I love, and it just started to, right? I ended up getting this gray patch in the front. It started to fit, and I've been using that. That's been a nickname for years now. And fitness makeover queen is a term that I've started using recently.
Okay.
As my business has shifted to, I'm still, of course, helping anyone who wants to lose weight, gain muscle,
Make note of that.
Nutrition plans, competing. But as I'm aging myself, and I can testify and go into it at another time, my story of, being off from workouts for a long period of time due to impingements and pain, and working through it and not taking time off when you should, working out through that pain and all. So in my own working out, in my own rehab, and my own therapy, taking from what I was learning from the therapists and applying it to real world for myself, coming back to the therapist and saying, hey, this is what I did to, change up what you had me do in the therapy office.
You're making some modifications.
This is how I modified it and was able to use what I had available to me in the gym or at home. And a lot of times I get into these long conversations in every therapy session. So I've just been really gravitating more to helping people feel good, right? So many people do push through pain, making it worse.
Yeah. Say it all the time.
And you don't feel good when you're in pain. Right. You don't want to do a lot of other things. You don't want to go to work. You don't want to work out. You want to be active. Sometimes you're aggravated and tense and short-tempered. And so I've been focused more on just helping people release muscle tension, release muscular pain. And I feel like that really, it makes over your life. But changing some simple things in a routine, like I've had a few people when I've posted things about squats or deadlifts being the ultimate type of full body exercise. Yeah. And someone will say, well, why do my knees hurt when I do it? And chances are you're not performing them correctly.
Form.
So form, I've been posting that a lot, like form over everything, over volume, over amount of weight, over intensity, over speed, over every form matters more than everything. So incorporating those kind of things, teaching people how to correctly move, not only in their workouts, but just in their daily life,
functional movement,
how to properly lift, pick up something, how to properly sit in your chair. I've been doing a lot of ergo types of conversations at work now that a lot of people are working from home.
Okay.
So just how you manage your day, the positions that you put your body in, most hours of the day are going to affect how you feel. So if you're sitting like this for 5 hours,
bad posture, she's slumped
end
over.
Up, my shoulders hurt, and you don't really, you may not always think that, hey, if I just, and it's some simple things that can be changed in how you move and the positions that you put yourself in to even remove pain that way. So all of that to say, that's where the fitness makeover, I love coming in and just show me or tell me what your workout is like, what your day is like, how you sit, how you move. And I want to make that over so that you're feeling better. You're more energetic. You don't have the muscle pain. So then it affects all these other areas of your life where you have the energy to get your workout in. You have the energy to go play with your kids or your grandkids or your nieces and nephews, and to go walking or to go to a party or to go, you just, when you feel better, everything else in life is better.
It is. It really is.
So
I totally agree with that.
That's where the fitness makeover.
Well, haven't heard that explanation. That's the perfect name. That makes total sense. Yeah. So, okay, I was curious about that. I appreciate you sharing that. So you're coming on to talk with myself, the audience, about some of the benefits of stretching. And there are numerous benefits when you're talking about stretching and utilizing those techniques properly. Yeah. From what I've read, what I've heard, been told, what I've experienced, there's two schools of thoughts on stretching. Pre-workout, before you actually start your exercise, and post-workout once you're done. And you've got people that are very adamant on one side or the other. So I'm curious, where do you stand on stretching and where it should fall within the parameters of a workout?
Yeah, I probably lean more towards when you say stretching, I'm thinking static stretching pre or post. So static stretching, I always advocate that at the end of a workout. Your muscles are much more pliable after they are warmer. So I'm a fan of dynamic stretching in the beginning of a workout. So the purpose of the something at the beginning of a workout is to get your body prepared for it. And so I'm a fan of, small movements that mimic the type of movement or exercise or activity that you're getting ready to do. So that you're moving through, getting the muscle ready around the joint. The whole purpose is to alleviate injury and pain. So the things that typically get injured are, your joints and then the muscle pull. So you want to get them pliable, get blood flow to them. And I think that comes from the dynamic movement. Now, and I've told my clients this, like if you do want to stretch at the beginning, you're just, compelled to do that. Still do that dynamic warm up first and then static stretching after that, rather than jumping in. But I think the one issue that I see with stretches beforehand, again, it matters what you do and not form for this, but just the length of time. So I see a lot of people that static stretch before they work out, or even some dynamic thing, but they do it so, they probably aren't counting, but it's just like so quick.
One and done.
That doesn't give the muscles time to stretch and lengthen. So it's really, they may think because they're doing something that it's going to help them, but that really isn't helping for what they think that, the reason that they're doing it for.
It seems like they're kind of just going through the motions if they're holding it for such a short duration of time.
It's something. I think, from back in when I first started in the industry, stretching before was the thought. Yeah. So I think that's carried, at least maybe it's shown in the age group of people that I'm seeing.
Right.
But I think it's just that sense of I'm told I got to do something before I start and stretch before I start. So they don't know for sure how long they're supposed to do it. And so they just feel that that's adequate enough.
That's enough.
It may just be a sense of they don't know any better.
That makes total sense. Okay, so just to break down a couple of things. So she mentioned static stretching. So basically a static stretch is when the targeted muscle is you're holding it in that stretch position for some duration of time, 30 seconds, 45 seconds. So for example, an overhead tricep stretch, you can kind of see me. I'm going to reach over, grab it, pull it back, and stretch our triceps line and hold it here. As opposed to a dynamic stretch, which is basically constant motion. So if I'm doing some shoulder work, I might want to do arm crosses where I'm going to bring my arms crossed right over left, pull it open nice and wide, and then left over right, and repeat that for a cycle. So that's kind of the difference between the two. So what she's promoting is a static stretch is great post-workout, as opposed to a dynamic stretch, which is the constant motion before you actually get into your, and you want to, ideally it should mimic whatever exercise you're going to be performing for that day.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. All right, good. Stretching techniques. You suggest stretching the muscles to be worked as part of your routine, or do you follow a full body approach? So do you go muscle specific, or do you do a total body stretch when you're working out? Do you target all the muscles when you're getting ready for your workout?
Yes.
Okay.
Total body.
So full body. So you're hitting every muscle group.
Yeah.
So it might be now. In terms of your workout sessions, do you break down body parts? Like, do you have ab day, chest day, shoulder day, back day, that sort of thing?
Yeah.
Okay, but even if it's back day, you're still stretching out quads.
Yeah.
Or shoulders.
And so I'm not. So going through a dynamic warm up, I might not hold a static quad stretch or focus on the quad, but I am going through a total body warm up or dynamic stretch, if you will. So I might be preparing for a back workout and doing things specifically to warm up my back, but I'm also going to stretch my quads, warm up those, because all your muscles are attached, right?
Correct.
Differently.
Right.
Or inserted into different places, but they all attach. And so one pull on one is going to affect another. So I try to warm up my entire body and then maybe mimic the exercise. So if I'm doing back exercises, I'll do a total body warm up and then some specific back stretches.
Got it. Okay. All
prior
right.
to the workout.
Okay, I see. That's a good strategy then. So you're not ignoring other body parts just because this is the day that you're working one specific muscle group in the gym.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
So, yeah, try to warm up the whole body and then do a few targeted stretches or focused warm up on that specific body part.
Okay. So I got to ask, do you have a preferred stretch? I mean, I guess for lack of a better term, is there an Ingrid go-to stretch, something that you just really enjoy, you really know you're getting the benefit out of it? You know, if there's just one stretch left on the planet Earth, you're going to keep that one.
I do have one, though. It doesn't hit the quads and the front of the body as much, but the roll down. So starting from standing tall and then slowly rolling from head to toe. So you would tuck your chin, round your shoulders over, try to separate each vertebrae in your back, just slowly, pulling those vertebrae apart until you get as close as you can to your toes and holding there and just kind of hanging there, letting your arms and shoulders and head relax, maybe twisting to the right and the left, maybe coming back up, rolling back down a few times. But just that spinal stretch, the stretching the back of the body from the back of the neck all the way down through the hamstrings, and it feels so good.
Really? So is that would that fall into a category of a dynamic or a static stretch? It sounds like it's kind of a combination of the two.
It's a combination.
Like a hybrid kind of a stretch.
Right. That's kind of what I was describing. It's dynamic in the movement from standing to touching my toes, and then holding that bent over position definitely falls in the static stretch.
Okay. Now, I mentioned the two camps, stretching before, stretching after. There's still a large segment, you probably run into some of these folks yourself, that basically look at stretching as a valuable waste of workout time.
Yeah.
I'm in the gym, maybe maybe I only got an hour, maybe I only got 45 minutes. I ain't going to waste 5 of those minutes stretching.
Yeah.
I just want to get in, hit it, and get back out.
Right.
So how would you respond to someone that has that kind of an approach?
I love that, valuable waste. I may have to use that. I usually try to advocate that it doesn't have to take a long period of time. They don't have to stretch for an hour. They don't have to stretch for 30 minutes, but to build in time. Like, you have to adjust your workout. Maybe there's back to my fitness makeover, maybe there's some efficiencies that are missing in the workout. But it's one of those, for me, it's one of those things, you either stretch now or you end up in therapy later.
Rehab.
Or you end up having to take time off.
You end up coming to somebody like me.
Or you end up having to take time off, or you end up with an injury. I can't tell you how many people that have that mindset are the ones, not the only ones, but they are experiencing they're probably the same mindset of the ones that push through that pain. They know they need to stretch, and I hear that all the time. I don't.
Right.
It's a valuable waste, but I know I need to, because I can't do this anymore. I can't touch my toes anymore. I can't twist anymore. I do have some shoulder pain. I had to modify this, or I can't bench and go down as low, or I can't. They always have something that they know is affected by not stretching, but they aren't convinced for some reason yet to take the time to it. So I just try to push and advocate and talk through with them the consequences of not building that in. And then those are the folks, folks, though, that if you are just starting to try to put in fit time into your workout, do targeted stretching then. So maybe I wouldn't have them do a full body stretch at the end of their workout, but I would target the muscles or muscle groups that they worked out that day. Okay.
So if they did a lower body workout, you're going to target calves and hamstrings and quads, maybe glutes, that sort of thing. Okay.
And if they're just really pressed for time and really in that mindset, maybe even fewer than that, starting with the muscles that for them might be the tightest or causing, or potentially, they're at risk to injure. So try to meet them where they are.
Okay, all right.
But keep pushing and advocating for more.
So that's a perfect lead in, because the next thing I was going to ask you about is, what do you say to people that, maybe they are short on time? Because, let's face it, people are running in all kinds of different directions, and they have responsibilities at home or at the office or whatever the case might be, social organizations, and time is at a premium, and there's not a lot of it. So this is a person that said, I know I need to start to incorporate stretching techniques but I don't have a lot of time. So, what should I do? So it sounds like that's a good fit. So maybe you're not focusing on those full body movements, but maybe targeting at least some specific.
Yeah, you at least stretch the muscles that you work.
Okay.
And you did a full body workout,
yeah.
You may need to do a full body stretch if you did a full. But it's again form and how which stretches you choose. That'll be the most effective for that person.
Okay, got it. So we're going to be talking about couple stretches, stretches that partners can do together to accentuate the workout. It's another way for couples to become more involved and closer with one another and that sort of thing. And it doesn't have to be a spouse or a significant other. It could be a friend. It could be as long as you're trusting that person, just someone that you're just your gym partner, that sort of thing.
Right.
So we're going to be talking about that. But what do you perceive as some of the benefits? Because I can do stretches all day long, on my own. But to stretch with a partner or a significant other, or that sort of thing, do you think there are some added benefits to that? And if so, what would you say some of those might be?
So let's go back to the other question is if you don't have time and it's something you don't want to do, sometimes having that other person makes it more fun. Makes you, gravitate to it because they're also saying, hey, let's stretch. So it might pull you. It's kind of like that workout buddy that when you don't want to work out, they're pulling you to say, hey, no, let's go.
Yeah.
Similar to that, where that person, your partner, workout partner or significant other is saying, hey, let's stretch. So it can make it a little bit more fun. Some people with type A personalities just have a hard time sitting still that long. That's another, it's a valuable waste of time is because they feel like they're just sitting there. So that partner can make it just go by faster when you're engaging with somebody. But it can also just increase the effectiveness of the stretch. So and when I'm teaching yoga specifically, but definitely with stretches too, I usually encourage people, if you say reach forward, they'll go into the point they feel the tension and just stop and hold there. And I'm often saying, sure, hold there for a couple breaths, but try to inch your way to get deeper into the stretch rather than just holding where you think is your limit. So that assisted stretching can be very therapeutic and effective as well. So it can get you deeper into your stretch because you have the person pulling or pushing you, assisting you to get deeper into it. So it can make it more fun and more effective.
Okay, so
but it can also be it can also be something you want to make sure you're talking to your partner. You really do have to communicate. And so this could be a benefit of improving communication because you definitely have to listen to it, perfect your listening, because you have to listen to if the person is telling you to stop or that's too much. And if you don't hear them or you don't listen to them, you can push them into injury.
You're absolutely right.
So you do have to really communicate with each other and let the person know when to stop, when it's enough, when it's too much, when you need more pressure, and you have to be okay with releasing that pressure or not pushing the person. So you have to trust your partner.
Yeah, definitely.
And that they're not going to push you further than you want to go.
Okay, all right. That's why I'm glad that we're having this conversation because I never really focused in on the communication aspect.
Okay.
And how that can be not only how it's significant, it's important, but how it can also serve to improve that communication. So I'm letting you know these are, that's kind of my limit. I think I could do a little bit more, more to the left, just that sort of thing. And I'm having to fine tune my listening to hear what your cues are. So I think that's a huge benefit. Now, with couples stretching, what if you got two partners that are both just totally inflexible?
Yeah.
They don't stretch well. I mean, it's not like I've got the benefit of one person that's flexible and maybe I'm kind of the opposite end of that spectrum. But what do you do in that case when you got two folks that are just not really viable?
Yeah, depending on the stretches, right? So there's some stretches where you might be facing each other and holding hands, and again, you're just listening to the person's cues of how much pressure to give them, how far to pull them, or push them. But if you're doing other things where, or if you're not, say, I don't know if this is a good example to verbally state is if you're sitting facing each other on the floor with your legs extended and your feet touching.
Okay.
Maybe they're inflexible to the point that they can't reach each other's hands.
All right, because you'll have to bend
Right,
forward
you
at
have
the
to bend
torso.
forward to reach.
Yeah.
So you could use props. You can use the strap. You can use a T-shirt. You can use a belt. You can use a towel. So you'd each have one side of the towel if you can't reach each other's hands to pull against that. So you can always incorporate props and again, the other types of, I think it works well if you're not inflexible. There are a lot of stretches that work well for a couple like that because you're just applying as much pressure as they need or removing the pressure.
Got it. Okay, so I like the towel idea. It's almost like extending your
arms.
An arm, right? The towel is taking the place of that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a real creative way to do that. So I was thinking, oh man, that's just a roadblock. How do you overcome that?
No, I mean, we use yoga straps in yoga all the time to assist even just you as an individual.
Okay.
So there's tons of props that can be used, even just simple things at home like a towel or a T-shirt or a belt.
Okay. Huh. So the stretch, we're about to get into it now,
Mm-hmm.
As far as the stretching goes. So first of all, hats off to you because you actually got me to do some yoga movements. I'm not a yoga person. All right, I'm more of a in terms of my gym time. I'll do my cardio. I'm hitting weights and machines and body weight exercise. Not a yoga person. Not the most flexible either. So that's something I constantly have to work on, especially when I'm working with my patients because that's what I do. So I have to make sure I practice that. So that's kind of an ongoing thing. But this technique, it's not just yoga. That some of these movements are. It's something that's referred to as, is it acro yoga?
Yeah,
acro yoga. So from what I understand, it's a combination of acrobatics and yoga movements. Mm-hmm. Now, a lot of that, I get, I don't know a lot about the technique in that. I do know that it deals with something called proprioception, which is basically the body, your awareness of your body's positioning in space. Mm-hmm. But some of the movements, I mean, a lot of core strength, a lot of balance is required on some of these. Beyond just that general description, acrobatics and yoga, can you explain what acro yoga is and how it benefits you beyond just the traditional downward dog or some of the more common ones that you see?
Like you just mentioned, like you just mentioned, it really does incorporate a lot of core and upper body and leg strength between the two. But there are people that do it in quads, mm-hmm. Triples, quads, or more. I've seen it even with more than 4 or 5 people.
Stacked on, just mm-hmm. that does sound like something that you see in an acrobatic show or something.
Mm-hmm. But it's an extension of the partner-assisted stretching. So as I was describing, partner-assisted, being able to pull or push you a little bit more into your stretch.
Okay.
The acro part of that lifts you higher, so you in a similar position that you would do on the floor. So now that you are lifted, you have to incorporate balance and core strength. So usually when you're supported on the floor,
right,
you don't have to integrate your core strength to stretch.
Okay.
But when you're suspended from someone's feet,
right,
or someone's shoulders, and you may have to bend even more into the stretch, so it actually helps increase or lengthen you in the stretch, but also incorporates the core and upper body and leg strength depending on whether you're the base or the top.
Wow. Okay.
So it's almost a full body. I mean, it's certain acro yoga positions, depending on the position that you're in, you may be getting more of a stretch. Or if you're in a different position in that movement, you may be the one getting more of the strengthening part of that.
Got it. Depending on where you're placed in that.
Depending on where you're placed. So partners can switch off. They can start the move with them in one position, and they can repeat it with them being in the alternate position. So they both get the best of the stretch, the move.
Okay. Well, I'm excited to do some of this with you. So, bear in mind, this is a disclaimer. Again, I'm just becoming acclimated to some of these. Thank you, being too kind. My background is more in the therapeutic stretches and that, which can be modified for a couple stretches. So I'm going to be demonstrating some of those. And then we're going to transition into the acro yoga stretches for the audience as well. So we're going to go ahead and get started. So we're going to come up from chairs. We're going to get our positions set up. Ingrid is going to be on the table, and I'm going to be demonstrating to start some therapeutic stretches that you can utilize as couples. So let's get going.
All right, let's do it. Thank you for being open to my acro yoga suggestion.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I couldn't back down from a challenge. So we're getting our room set up over here. Going to get a little bit of background music as we do so. And I'm going to reposition our camera. First movement is a facilitated hamstring stretch. I got enough volume going for us. I'm going to start by having Ingrid extend her leg. I'm going to place it against my shoulder, right? I'm going to keep my hands and drop just above the knee. At this point, I'm going to start to extend her leg up until she tells me she's achieved the stretch. So when I'm in some cases, we're going to get down to the lumbar spine. Approximately 45 minutes to 45 seconds to a full minute. I hope that clarifies. Press it down, I'm identifying just above the knee. We're going to try what's called a spine piriformis. So we're going to start by establishing a plank leg. We're going to take the opposite leg and cross it over the mid leg position. From here, I'm going to secure her ankle. I'm going to find a wedge against her knee. Push that knee toward her ankle. And she establishes a nice stretch. All over the place. This is a beautiful stretch of the From there, we're going to keep her in this position. We're going to switch from a supine piriformis stretch to a gluteal stretch. So first, still in that same position. Again, I'm going to secure the ankle. I'm going to hook the knee, or grab it just a little. I'm going to pick it up. It's nice and establish that stretch and I hold. So we transform from a supine piriformis stretch. So with that child's pose, got her knees nice and wide on the outside of her waist, coming together. She's leaning forward, she's going to establish a stretch. Her arms up to the shoulders, down. Once your partner has that stretch position, which one going to do is work muscles out to the side. Press down and again, go out to the side. While using the base of my palm, work back, or I can come forward. And also push my breath down. Since you got a crack, by that constant gentle pressure. Alright, the next one. And she'll bring her lap forward motion. So her legs are extended. Holding hands up to the floor. And forward. I'm just going to apply a little bit more focus. So again, she's a little more flexible. If it becomes too much, you grab your partner at the foot. That's good. More. Sometimes I can do more secure position. All right. Come out of that stretch. Well done. Next up, we're going to go for a cobra stretch. So I'm going to have you on the stomach. All right, so her arms are to her side. She's going to extend her arms up, almost like performing her hips to stay low. So bring it up, she's there. Now, from here, I'm going to apply some downward pressure, that lower back. A little bit of extension. So we got the hips down, and extend a little bit more. That's that cobra stretch. Just going to hold it up for whatever time frame you set, 30 seconds, 45 seconds. Go forward. We're going to let it down. Nice and easy. And we're going to go into that one more time. We're going to come up. Relax. Apply that downward pressure and go up. Now another option is to come to a position where you're behind your partner. Try to both shoulders. Over. All right. I've got one more that I want to share with you, and that is a palm knee elevation. So, put me down underneath your right leg. I'm going to hook it just over my shoulder. I'm going to position my hands underneath my knee. I'm going to extend that back while applying downward pressure to the lower back. That's your stretch point. So again, I'm going to palm right in her lower back. That's how you're going to get it up. You roll back your stretch point. Anyway, your legs to get a better angle of it. I'm going to let her down nice and easy. Let her extend her back. Same deal. Bring that leg. Hook it just over the shoulder. Secure your knee and into the lumbar spine.
Don't you sweat, it's gonna be alright. Raise a hand. Good times are inside.
Those are just some basic therapeutic stretches that a lot of those are ones that I use in practice. can also use those obviously with your part. But most of those are great for post-workout. Right? So next, we're going to get into some of those accurate yoga positions. So I'm going to practice table back. That's together. Now, I'm totally at her mercy, all right? Because, again, this is not my forte, but I'm going to do my best to make sure that I perform these and I make her look as good as possible, all right? So, drop the camera down just a little bit so you get a better angle. How's that? Okay. All right. Double plank.
Face down, double plank.
Double plank. All right.
One partner, making the plank person on the bottom. You're gonna go down. If you're ready, ready, hold, push up and arm into plank. You're gonna come right over the top of your heart. So your feet are gonna be over their shoulders, and your feet are gonna be right above your knees. You're gonna lay right on the top of them, and then as you communicate and on 3, count to 3 on the third count, you're gonna go and extend your arms in front of you. Are you ready, Mario?
I think I'm ready.
1, 2, you got a double plank. Hold it. Hold it for your amount of time, 20 seconds, 30 seconds, 60 seconds, 1 fourth a minute, and then in the half. Right? You're going to communicate the release. You're going to hold the floor, not down for 1. All right. So now,
I survived. First one, yes.
now we're going to do a plank crunch. So again, we talked earlier about the incorporating core strength and upper body strength. So Mario is going to start on the floor. He's going to perform the front part. I'm also doing sort of a reverse crunch. I'm lifting my hips. I'm going from an L shape to an extended plank. So it's a plank crunch. Yep. Your legs lifted all the way out. My hands are going to be lifted right above the neck. My hands are going to be right above his ankle. He's going to grab my ankle. I'm going to start in a plank, and then he's going to crunch up and lift me up into an L shape. Ready?
All right.
Teamwork.
Teamwork. Right.
All right, we're going to move right into a double down dog. Double dog. So Mario's going to take the base down dog on the floor. Yep, coming into an inverted lower V. So go ahead and put the toes, lift up, press your back towards the leg. Remember in down dog, your goal is to try to press your feet, your heels down. So your feet are about hip width apart. So keep getting the stretch here with his lower back and shoulder as he presses his torso to the leg. I'm going to double dog right over here. My hand is right below his shoulder. Good, Mario?
back.
Dead book.
Okay. So,
Mario is like a dead bug. So a dead bug is really a core exercise. As he's in this position, he's trying to keep his legs right over his hip, pushing his lower back to the mat, and keeping his arms over his shoulders. His neck is also the back of his neck to be flush with I, on the other hand, am going to take a camel pose. And that camel pose is me taking a back bended position only the chest. All right, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Again, I stretch across my shoulders, do my back, I also extend my arms, stretch your upper body. Mario is still pressing his lower back down, his arms, let me pray. Let me know if you can put one knee down at a time. And that's your dead bug.
Yeah.
And down.
Turn me into a yoga person.
All right, are you ready? You're going to stay there.
I stay here.
This is going to be a squatted extension.
How do I do
And Mario is doing a lot of them, if not all of the work here. It may look like I am,
Yes.
but this is really a core workout right here.
Yes.
And a leg workout. Stretch can be incorporated into this one by stretch arms or stretching down. Mario's going to lift his leg and put them behind my shoulder.
Oh boy, here we go. Come on.
All right. Again, deep breath, Mario.
Okay, let's do it.
Lifting them up and right down. Woo! You did it.
I was worried about that one.
We're going to move into some stretches that aren't as challenging as those active.
Oh, just when I was getting used to them.
We'll just say they're active exercises, proper breath.
All right.
Your foot is face your partner and a cross-leg motion. You're going to take the opposite hand. And back and you're pulling the hand behind the part of your back and the hand is pulling back. Again, you're let me try to go. Maybe count that down or you're going to look up and back and go. You're going to look back and look up your back. All right. 1, 2, and 3. Where do you pull that stretch?
Lower back, got some little thoracic, which is a mid back, but I definitely got it lower back. I got it in the left shoulder.
Exhale over your shoulder and over your heart. So facing each other and having your feet crossed and actually giving some leverage to them.
That was really good.
You're going to get some resistance as well.
Oh, okay, here we go.
So same position with the knee bent. playful, but you also want to be cautious and aware of the privacy. You want to play too much and the sitting period across the leg and opposite direction. So I can go right to the left. Make sure one hand on your front knee and your other hand about to grab behind you. You're going to pull and find the appropriate force in the and so if I and let them push me forward, he's not going to get up on your shoulder and you're here's another way to do that. So where your head is, start to get your toe, and I'm going to step in that reach by pressing into a bridge. My upper back shoulder. Push my hips on it. I get back on that bridge. Relax my arms and lift the leg you gotta listen to your partner. They say, okay, and no. Or they say, no, stay there. They're ready to provide that stretch. You can even go right into the opposite side. You can bend your knee. You can go into your bridge.
Oh, baby, it's that fire. 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 It's that
On that right side of the breast, good back back.
You're going to hold your partner's hand. And you're going to fold your body touching, and you're going to fold the partner. Where are you at?
That would be more Hey, wow, that was fantastic. Let me bring this up. Wow, so man, great stretches, and they are deceptively challenging. Someone show me some of those images. Like, well, okay, I can figure this out. But then when you actually do them, the amount of core strength and the fast twitch, slow twitch muscle fibers that are involved, really required. It's challenging. It's a great way to get partners involved and including more stretching practice. So I really like those. Thank you very much for novice. Of course, as time progresses, we get better at some of those. So, you want to join me? All right. Cool. So that is our stretching activity. So I'm going to go ahead and bring this down just a little bit. And why don't we just keep that going in the background? So last couple things, just a couple housekeeping items. I'm going to bring the chairs back over. All right. So we finished that portion of it. Fitness tip of the week. So the fitness tip of the week is to know your temperature or know the temperature. So a lot of times when individuals are dealing with some kind of injury or soreness, that sort of thing, do I use ice? Do I use heat? So there's two. So the rationale for that is that ice or cold therapy is used to treat an acute injury or anytime there's inflammation or swelling. I'll give you an example: a sprained ankle, a strained back, those sorts of things. A traumatic blow where the area is very inflamed and irritated and swollen. You want to apply ice to that. You want to use heat when it's an injury that involves muscle stiffness, muscle soreness, that sort of thing, to relax those muscles. So remember, ice is going to be, or cold therapy is going to be for acute injuries, whereas heat therapy is going to be for things like muscle soreness and stiffness. All right? So those are the two differences between how you treat those types of injuries or discomfort levels. All right? So know the temperature. All right. The exercise of the week is the Zotman curl. So a lot of you might have heard of that. Some people maybe not so much. It's kind of an old school exercise, but I like it because of the benefit it provides to different muscle groups that are within the arm. So I'm going to show you that real quick. I'm going to take a standing position. So with a Zotman curl, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to start from an arm extended position. I'm going to turn or rotate my forearm so that the dumbbells face outward, the palm is facing forward. I'm going to have soft knees. I'm going to curl that weight up, just like a basic curl, right? From here, I'm going to rotate the palms and then drop it back down. So rotating out, bringing it up, rotating it down, and controlling that movement. So the benefit to the Zotman curl, it targets a couple of different areas within the arm. So the brachialis, which is, the bicep muscle right in here. So that's the brachialis. It also addresses the brachioradialis, which is that muscle that runs along the thumb, and it controls what the arm is able to do in terms of supination, which is palms up, pronation, which is palms down, all right? And then flexion, which is bringing the arms up and down where the arm bends at the joint. So the Zotman curl helps to address all of those. So again, palms up position, curling it up, rotating it down, under control, and continuing that movement. That is the Zotman curl. Cool. Incorporate that if you're not already doing so next arm day, okay? So you can train using that method. Have you used the Zymer Curl?
I have.
Okay,
I
cool.
have.
All right. And then the last thing that we have, basically, just talking about our next show date. So the next show is Friday, and I realized we went a little long today, but we had some good stuff. I definitely wanted to share those stretches with you. So our next show is Friday, April 2nd. That is going to be episode 13, the third episode of season 2. And I'm going to be broadcasting from a very special location. So I want you all to tune in this time next week to find out exactly where that's going to take place. So once again, my special guest, Ingrid Isaacs, I really appreciate you coming back. And I would be remiss if I did not ask you to allow the viewers to know how they can reach you. Because, if you can help someone with like me to actually get into a yoga pose and do it without making a complete moron out of themselves, you're like a miracle worker. So how can people reach you?
Yes, let me make over their fitness routine, fitness makeover
The fitness
queen.
makeover queen, that's
They
right.
can find me on Instagram and Facebook at Fitness Factor Pro. And I'm on LinkedIn. I am on, or by email, fitnessfactorpro@gmail.com.
Okay. All right. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and wrap things up. And remember to show up next week, Friday, April 2nd, and we're going to be going strong at 11 o'clock. Brand new topic, and got a lot of information that we want to share with you for that next show. So take care. Remember the Vanguard motto. Until next time, that is train hard, eat clean, and stay focused. We'll see you next time. Stay healthy, safe, and really enjoyed having you there. We'll see you next time. Take care, everybody.